Whatever you're comfortable with.
Started recording some quick things. So, yeah, no, we're all good. Yeah, all good to go.
Where you go?
Okay, yeah, hi everyone. So this is my presentation on subject specialism and e-learning assessment 2. I think that's right. That's what it said on the thingy. So, okay. Oh, how do I get rid of? So I've got to get. There's a thing in the way for me to read. Sorry, Adam.
It's all right.
How I get rid of this?
I minimise it. Should be able to just drag it. Here we go. Let me show you.
It's only. Oh, no, I minimised. Okay.
That's it. Perfect.
All right. Now I'm stuck now.
Yeah, don't worry. Just the arrows in the way you could.
Yeah, it wasn't working.
Definitely doing that. Oh, I'm definitely doing winter.
Okay.
There you go.
Winter as well.
Okay, then, guys. So my statement of intent is really this is just all about can e-learning resources improve student engagement to allow them to learn the way that best suits them. I know it might not be worded particularly well towards the end. Because what I'm finding with our students or my students is just the engagement side is just difficult. You know, they want to sort of like spend a lot of time talking on their mobile phones, just doing anything but doing the work that they need to do, and also help myself as the tutor to meet the individual needs of the learner. I think you'll realise you'll get to know more what I'm talking about later on in the presentation. So I just wanted to have a little chat about really why people come. A few statistics of colleges. So we're just saying really because further education, colleges have a major role in the existing efforts to equipping people of all ages with the skills they need for working life. Central role of colleges in education and training is evident from the following facts. So colleges enrol the largest numbers of 16 to 18-year-olds in full-time education. Colleges are the main providers of work-related learning for all ages and support 48% of the learners who gain vocational qualifications each year. And colleges are the main option for any adult wishing to learn part-time. Colleges are the main providers of foundation degrees, learn direct, basic skills, technical skills, levels 1, 2 and 3, and general adult education. So you'll see at the link at the bottom, this is where I got this information from. So where we're going to with this slide is talking about student engagement. They're looking pretty disengaged. Now, what I'm starting here is this is what I'm finding in colleges is when I'm meaning about I mean, you can sort of have a little read yourselves. I don't need to read through everything. I've highlighted some key points, but what I'm finding the main thing is you've got these are the two issues that overcrowded classrooms and disengaged classrooms. So with an overcrowded classroom, what we're saying is I believe that 16 is a viable number to one tutor from what I found in my time in colleges. But what they're doing now, they're putting more and more students in a class to one tutor. And what that's doing is, you know, like I said, you're overcrowding that. So that's posing challenges for effective teaching. It's reduced student engagement. I find it more difficult to provide individualised attention. Disengaged is lack of interest, motivation in learning. So as you can read all of these things now, so this is where the e-learning is coming into. Because what we've got is traditional pedagogy, was your chalk and talk, just me, the lecturer, chatting away and setting homework. That's how my school life was. That's how it used to be in the past. But, you know, but will this teaching method meet the individual learning needs of I shouldn't say that, I should have said my students. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, really, the answer is no. To me, it's no. Now, what I've got here is two images here. What we've got is, this is who I've got. I do share a little bit of this with another tutor, but I do the lion's share. I've got 40 full-time level 1 diploma students, age 16 to 18-year-olds. And then I've just had to take on with one of my colleagues, 20 part-time level 2 diploma students, 19 years and older. So there's quite a lot of learners for me to get through, me and a colleague sort of thing, yeah. Now, my target audience are the first ones, the 16 to 19-year-olds. Okay, now, got this thing about, these are all the things that us as tutors need to, there's many more, but I've done this just so that you guys, because your eyes go to different things, but these are all things that need to be undertaken by a tutor if he's going to do his roles and responsibilities correctly. Now, when you've got all them learners, you know, you're going to struggle to do all that. Let me know your thoughts if you don't feel that's correct. But you can add on top of that other things where you're going to have covering other tutors, you've got your CPD days, you've got this and that. All of this is going on as well as. So I feel I'm spreading myself too thin. Now I've got to do something about this. So how can I carry out these tasks effectively? Because at the minute, I don't believe I can. And that's not doing right by the learners. So this is just now we're going into how this is what I feel in with my learners, how they are. So yes, we talk about flipped pedagogy. It's good for me as the lecturer to be the subject specialist, but we need the classroom activities to help try and do some engagement. So collaborative pedagogy, you know, I do want to encourage teamwork. I really want to be taking more of a backseat, like what Jason's saying, is really facilitating more than just my head down. Because if all I'm doing is my head down all the time, I'm not seeing what's going on around me. So I want to sort of encourage this this collaborative way of learning, constructive pedagogy, where at the end of the day, they're not just sitting there listening to me. They're actually not listening to how it's going to be done. I want my learners to actually be doing it and making it. And then reflective, we all need to reflect, whether it be us as tutors, our learners. We really need to encourage reflection. And what I've chosen there is, what went well, so what, now what. Okay, so will these teaching methods meet the individual learning needs of my students? Well, the thing is, we've got to give it a go. So what I put down there is, it's like a maybe. We're trying to head in the right direction. So now, what I'm doing, I just want to discuss a couple of theories that I believe link to how I want to teach and how I feel that I am naturally in a classroom with my learners. So what we got is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but andragogy theorist being Malcolm Knowles. The reason why I've spread it about the board like this is because, again, your eyes are going to go to these things, but all of these things are what Malcolm Knowles believes students, how they sort of wired up, how they sort of would prefer to learn. And all of these that come up there, I want to encourage my students to do this. And then my next theorist is more on the cognitive side. So that's Piaget. And now this is when we're talking about, having, like I said, congratulating effort, the positivity, making them encouraging them to learn from the mistakes instead of getting sort of like, being more negative, turn failure into a positive. All of these things, it's all about sort of support and encouraging the learner to basically take control of their own qualification, their own futures, building resilience, character building, teamwork, communication, all of this. So really, getting onto the e-learning side now, I need another one of me, really. I know you guys might think, oh, we don't want another Eddie, but, I need another me. So this is where we're talking now about our e-learning, or the tool that I've chosen. So I've chosen a visualizer now. So these are my tools. So I've got the visualizer there on the left, standing up. I thought I was very impressed with Jason's quality of picture and the range of picture. I think mine is more focused about just what's under it. So that's my setup basically. And then this is my other resource, which is my Google Classroom. And so two e-learning resources. This is very accessible for the learners. Google Classroom is 24/7. They can go onto that any time, as long as they've got, they have got sort of like access to computers, laptops, a Wi-Fi connection, 4G, whatever, that sort of thing, 5G. So what we've got here, this is the practical demonstration tutorials. These are where I'm storing all the videos the tutorial videos I'm making. And this is more the one on the right there is more in depth, not going into the classwork side. Google Classroom, 24/7 student accessibility. Now, what we've got here, guys, I can do it two ways. I'm wondering whether I'd rather just play. It's up to you.
Play it because
I'm just going to play it, but this is just showing that the different ways that a student can, can view it, sort of thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come out of my, just briefly, and I'm going to go into this classroom, and what you'll see is the squaring lines video, and I'm not going to play much. I just want to play the first bit because it might be a tip for you guys. Again, this shows how it only really focuses just on this area. So, welcome to this tutorial video. Today we will be discussing the initial basic process of marking out a piece of timber stock, planed or round. We're going to be on the facing edge marks and just squaring a shoulder line way around. Okay, so first things first, what we need is a tri-square, a sharp pencil, and our timber. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to be using a fine-tipped pen purely for the visuals. Best practice is to use a sharp pencil, as you can rub out any. I won't play long. I just want to show you a tip. The first bit, I just want you all to see, just because it might give you a little tip for the future. So let's start by, first things first, is how do we know that this tri-square is square? It's used by multiple students, so it may be sort of like misused by some, dropped, bashed on the bench. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a nice square board. We're going to get our pen. What we're going to do is we're just going to hold our square tightly against the.
You film it and then talk over it, or you talking at the same time?
I'm talking at the same time.
There a possibility to get subtitles up?
Because that's a YouTube video we can.
So you can, yeah.
Yeah, on this one I can, yeah. So that'll do for that. It goes on 5 minutes. But I just wanted to show that a little bit about the square, how you can check to make sure the square is square. Because students always come up saying, well, sir, the lines don't match up. Well, that's because the square's not square, you know. Okay. So we're going to just do ourselves a nice little loop like that. That's my little loop. Then our edge, we're just going to do ourselves a little arrow. That's our face edge. That's it. Okay. Right. So face and edge marks. Great for, stop that. Eddie, shut up. Just being able to stay organised. Oh, we go straight back into my thing. I like that. So slideshow from the current slide. So sorry guys, I'll
Fine, don't worry. Don't panic.
from the current slide. Okay. So yeah, so I've got different alternatives. You've got your link, you've got whatever. Nothing's working, but you know, hey ho. Now, why won't that go to the next? So basically, the students have viewed this, and this was my feedback form for the video tutorial. Just a little overview, just says what went well, but then I'll go into the little bits. So it's an anonymous feedback form, so I don't know who's done what and wrote what. Now, I know you can't see this. This was just a quick thing, so I'll show you later. So what I had was my photos went wrong. I've got what went well over there, and there was a load of things, a list of things, and then there was what could be improved and additional additions or suggestions. So this was created by PT. So what I had 17, so Google Forms, student data, collective feedback. I had 17 students who all watched the video and they kindly filled out the feedback form. Now, so just to try and cut these things down, not quite like Jason's because, oh no, that's all right because I didn't have a no. I thought I didn't realise that. That's good. That's made me even happier. So as you can see, there is they all found it pretty helpful. That's why I'm 17 responses. No, there you go, 17 students.
Better than you thought.
Yeah, happy days. It was better than I thought. I'm easily pleased. So talking about the pros and cons, this is going by what the feedback said and a couple of others of what students said to me. So green, the pros. So they just said a clear explanation of steps, step-by-step instructions were easy to follow. Tools and materials are well explained. So you can read all that. Now, I didn't do the poor Wi-Fi connection in workshop. That was something that was told to me face-to-face by many learners. But to answer Jason's thing was when somebody couldn't log on, I sort of like paired them up so that they, so they could sort of like share a phone or share processes, What they have said is really the cons was the visual clarity, camera angles are very limited. Jason's was a lot more impressive. The GoPro is more impressive. Poor audio quality. I don't quite get that because I'm very clearly spoken man sort of thing. But no, I don't get that. The poor audio quality, I didn't quite understand that one.
Yeah.
It's just me talking, isn't it?
Maybe if they put the headphones in, they might have had it. You know what I mean? Because if you're in a workshop and you're listening,
right,
it may not be as clear as if you put headphones in because of the background noise. Do you know what I mean? So that's just a thought on that one.
Yeah, so speed of demonstration, too fast or too slow? I would probably say it's too slow because that's just how I'm trying to not go too fast, sort of thing, yeah. But the beauty of the video is this sort of a stopping whenever they need to, so they could carry out that process, then press play again till they get to the next process. So I had some breaking news today, as from between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. earlier today, I actually had 3 learners who needed to do one of these. I thought, I know where everybody was, but then I've got so many people doing so many different things that 3 learners needed to do a certain task. And there's another learner come up to me and said, Ed, you know, you got a video on that particular task. I said, oh, cheers, mate. So then I told these 3 learners, and what was great was 3 level 1 diploma students voluntarily followed a tutorial video on the Google Classroom to independently complete Unit 114, Task 1, using portable power drills. Now, this was just great. If this decides to work. So all 3 learners passed the assessment. This, I can't even pronounce it. Is it even a word?
Andragogical.
Yeah, approach allowed me to, and I may use the wrong assessment, but to holistically assess them and many of their peers throughout the lesson. So I could just keep seeing loads of stuff going on where I couldn't do before, if you know what I mean. You still want to... I know, I see, I feel your pain, I feel your pain.
Start to flag at this point.
Now,
Yeah.
this in turn gave me a better understanding of how I can support individuals in the class. And that's because, like I said earlier, I haven't got my head down. I can actually spend more time looking and seeing what people are doing. So, oh God, you're doing that a bit wrong. I can go and correct their, you know, their arm or their technique or whatever, where I couldn't do before. So what we've got here is the 3 students who decided to follow this on their own. They allowed me to photo them only, obviously, not their faces, but their hands. That's okay, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
And they basically did all that work just through the video.
Brilliant.
And I just thought it was a great way to lead up to this evening. And that's my bibliography.
I mean, just to add while we're finishing off, so Ed's observation before Easter incorporated this, and it was excellent. The students were, I mean, there was some that kicked off because it was outside their comfort zone, but the majority settled down, were learning autonomously, actively engaging in it, and you know, I got very positive vibes. So really, really well done.
I've done it.
Thanks for recording. Imogen, are you ready to go?